This is a walkthrough video guide in which I'll show you how easy it is to actually buy, configure and set up your own virtual private server with Linux. And you'll be able to host many different services and applications. And as a bonus, at the end, I'll show you how to set up a web server. You'll feel like an elite hacker. Now this video serves as a starting point for many of the Linux Mastery course videos, where I'll showcase advanced Linux techniques and how you can install a variety of software services on your server. If you're completely new to Linux, you can follow along just fine. You can subscribe to my Dangerous Formidable Linux course, where I'll teach you how to become technical independent and you'll be able to master Linux. Follow the sublime link which goes to Linode. And I'll be using Linode as a cloud provider. I've been using them for many years. You get $100 credit. I'll link it below in the comments. You can use any provider you want. It doesn't matter. Now sign up and I'll wait until you create an account. By the way, the link shortener I've used is one I created myself. I'll teach you how to build a URL shortener like this one in a different video. Create an account, pause the video, and when you're done, let's get started. So if you created your account, you'll log in and you'll see it should be empty. You can see my current virtual private servers here. Let's create a new virtual private server. First, you need to select a region. And this is important because it's the speeds from where you or your customers will be to your actual server. And we have multiple regions to choose from. I'm going to choose Amsterdam. It's in Europe. It's close to me. The next one is choosing the operating system. For this one, I'll advise you to use Debian and Debian-based ones, as these are the ones which I mostly use and mainly use in my videos. You can also use Ubuntu if you want. These are Debian-based, but let's check with Debian 12. In the next step, you can choose the plan you want. For example, you can choose a dedicated CPU, and this is the monthly price. You can choose a high memory plan, a GPU, you can have premium CPUs, but the cheapest and the easiest and the one with which you should get started, and by the way, I've ran this for maybe 10 years on a $5 1GB RAM. This is the basic. It's no problem if you start with this one because you can upgrade anytime. Now let's choose a name. This is demo teaching. You can add tags and you can select some placement groups. These are some advanced features. Now you can and you should set up a strong root password. My advice is to use KeePass, and to generate a new entry, you have a nifty little setting in which you can generate advanced passwords. So you can see there are plenty of things. KeePass is not only good for actually generating passwords, it's great for storing them. So generate a strong password, the more characters, the best. So try to strive anything above 30 characters. And then you can apply the password. You can save it. Linode VPS. You can copy the password, paste it. You can also choose SSH keys or secure shell keys. I'll use one. I'll explain how to add and use them in a later video. There's also something about VPC and firewalls and other settings. For example, if you want a private IP address or backups, we'll just go with the Create Linode, a clean, simple $5 Linode. It's been created and it's now provisioning. We'll wait until it's done so we can proceed with the next steps. This can take a while. Once our VPS is up, let's explore a little bit. Let's go to the network tab. Here you'll see your IP addresses of this instance. IP, you can see them above as well. You'll see the summary of your settings. You'll see how to log in with Secure Shell. You also have a Lish or a Linode shell, which you can launch. This is actually a shell from within your browser. And this is pretty nifty because you don't need to use a shell like this one. The analytics should look like this: CPU, disk, network. This is from a different Linode I have with different settings. Now you can even set up and enable backups. You can actually configure everything from this part. For example, you can resize your virtual private server from here. First, you need to actually shut it down, power it off, and upgrade it. If at any time you want to upgrade, you can resize it to, but take note, if you resize it to a more expensive plan and you resize your disk manually, it will be difficult to go back to a lower plan. So it's always indicated to start with the cheapest plan. Now let's log in into our root. First, copy the IP address, go to a shell, a new tab, and paste this. It's going to ask for a fingerprint. Just say yes. And you'll see that it already logged me in. Now, why this has happened? Because I added my secure shell keys, encryption keys, to automatically recognize my machine. I'll teach you how to do this in a different video. For now, you'll probably need to input your root password. And you just need to copy from KeePass, paste, and you'll log in. The first thing we're going to do is to update the list of software packages. This is so you can later install applications. Otherwise, you won't be able to install. The next thing we'll do is we'll set up the web server. We'll be using Caddy. There are multiple types of web servers and we'll explore them in a different video, explaining them. Caddy is the easiest to use and it has a lot of cool features. Yes, install. Now it's done installing. Let's go to your browser. Let's copy the IP address, paste it. It's gonna say it's not secure. Continue, and you should see, hey, welcome to Caddy. Great! And it explains how you can set up and point your DNS. I'll show you this in the next video. It also shows where our Caddy file is located. So let's copy this. Let's see what's inside of this file. It actually shows us that it's a static location. Let's copy this as well. Let's see what we can find there. So there's actually a file there. Let's move this file to a different location. And why I want to do this? Because I want to show you how you can recreate the index file. The easiest way we can create a file is to echo into it. Copy paste for easier access. And now let's go to browser and see if it changed. Yep, it's changed to what we actually created. Let's go back and let's edit this file with Vim. To add something new, you press on the O button and then you can insert any kind of text. Let's insert a strong. And to exit, because this will probably keep you up at night, and the most searched for thing in Vim is how to exit. So you type on Shift and then you type the double point and then WQ and an exclamation point. This will actually save, quit, and yes. And we go back to the browser and hey there, it's automatically updated. Of course, there are other ways in which you can work. You don't need to edit files directly on the server, but it's really useful to have this knowledge. And I advise you to actually follow a small tutorial. You can find tutorials on the internet. In case you don't already have Vim, you can install it with sudo apt install Vim. Now, one thing to notice is that we're logged in as root. Now, please don't log in as root all the time. And you may have noticed that I have been using sudo. You may say, oh, but you're already root. Yes, but in certain distros, if you don't do sudo as root to do certain commands, you'll get an error. I know this is kind of backward, but it's best to create a different user. And you may ask yourself, well, what's next? Well, you can explore around, but do not copy paste commands you do not trust from the internet in your VPS as root, because you can break it. Believe me. My next suggestion is that if you haven't already, then you subscribe to my formidable Dangerous Linux course. It's a crowd-funded course platform, which means that the more people subscribe and buy the courses or a yearly subscription, the more videos I can publish there and the more videos I can publish freely on the internet. It's a win-win situation for everybody. The next video I recommend you follow is the one about securing your VPS. It's imperative that you do that one next. Now, after you've followed that video about securing your VPS, I recommend the one about setting up a domain and a DNS. And then you can follow the rest of the videos. But this is the first step towards becoming dangerous by using Linux. This has certainly helped you, so please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. By the way, this credit is available for 2 months, so you can use it. Afterwards, you'll need to pay.